Have you ever been told that you are a great listener, that you are so easy to talk to, that you are my only friend? Am I the only one who freaks out anytime somebody tells me I am their only friend? Because this is a lot of responsibility, especially when it's somebody who's really lonely and they have a lot of problems and nobody to listen to them aside from yourself. So you have these days where you need comfort, you need someone to talk to, or maybe not someone to talk to, but just some peace and quiet. But you see your phone ringing and this person's name pops up and you're like, I don't have the energy for that. My cup is empty. It's dry. I do not have enough to fill somebody else's cup. And it's even worse when you do that for most people in your life. You often take the listener's place. You treat most of your conversations like interviews. You ask people questions about themselves. You actually listen and try to take in the information and you empathize. You ask follow up questions. And that's how I realized, being this person most of the time, that a lot of people love talking about themselves. They enjoy the sound of their own voice. And that's how it's really easy for me to spot somebody who can actually, because usually I will ask people questions about themselves and they answer and they don't ask back. They just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on about themselves. And then they go, wow, what a great conversation. When there was no conversation, it was an interview. You made a monologue for half of it. Or this person goes, I feel so close to you, but you don't feel close to them because they are the only one who shares, they are the only one to vent, but you don't vent, you don't share, you just listen. And daily life around people is overwhelming when you do, especially if you grew up as a hyper vigilant kid who had to deal a kid who was anxious and you became hyper vigilant as a result of that, and you learn to read a room very quickly and see people's slight changes in their moods and their behavior, and you pick up on these little things, and maybe you are a quite sensitive person. Daily life is going to drain you and you're going to find yourself taking long breaks from your interactions. And because many people feel really close to you, they feel like you're letting them down anytime you're not available to them 24/7. When in reality, you feel like you're letting yourself down if you don't take that time to for yourself. And especially if you have a career, a job as a caregiver, like you're a nurse or you work in counseling, you are a social worker, people that are highly agreeable, that care about people, that try to help people. A lot of them tend to go in these professions, or you're a teacher. And if you're an introvert and these interactions already drain you and you're listening, you're taking on people's emotional needs and problems and trying to help them in your professional life, and then you go in your personal life and you're doing that too. It's exhausting. You have to find these people in your life that you can talk to, because you cannot keep everything bottled up. And I understand, because you might also be sensitive. You feel too raw to talk to people when you're going through something, because again, many people don't know how to listen. You're going to start talking to them about something that happened to you, they cut you off to tell you that happened to them 20 years ago and that how they dealt with it. And the thing that was supposed to be a 5 minute of you having some comfort and a listening, it becomes a 45-minute self brag or humble brag, or not so humble bragging on the other person's end on how they handled the problem that you're dealing with, and that's how you should do it. Sometimes you get so frustrated by, why are my eyebrows like, anyway, couldn't fix them. You get so frustrated by trying to vent to people and not being able to do it, that you start fantasizing about duplicating yourself and becoming the person you can talk to. And I'm not saying that you cannot give people advice, that you cannot if you're on the other end of this, you're the person always telling people what to do. I'm not saying that you cannot give people, but when somebody is comes to you with their problems, usually they want one of two things, or maybe two things. But say they want one of two things. They either want to vent, to let some steam off, or they want a solution, an advice, something to fix their problems. But oftentimes people just decide, oh, they need me to tell them what to do. And before the person can even finish explaining the problem, you decide, I'm going to tell them how to fix it. Do this, do that. But they're not necessarily coming to you so you can fix their problems for them. Maybe you can listen, because sometimes we go, I've been through this. I know this like the back of my hand. I do this. I know what to do. I know how to fix their problems. They don't have to keep talking about it. But sometimes it's really a big case by case situation. There are certain intricacies that you don't know. You're going to fix something and you don't even know what the hell you're fixing. Maybe just listen for like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then when somebody's telling you about something really hard they're going through, you don't always have to have a solution. Sometimes you can just go, I am sorry you went through this. What you're telling me is really awful. What can I do for you? I am so sorry that you're in so much pain. I am here for you. Or next time, if it's something that might be physically dangerous and you know you could be of some help, maybe come pick them up. Say, next time, I'm a phone call away. Just call me. Offer some help. And timing is important in these things. When somebody is in emotional distress, it's maybe not the best moment to give them database pragmatic solutions. They're not going to listen to you and you're going to accuse them of being irrational. But have some situational awareness and understand you can give them the advice you want to give them. But timing is crucial. Timing, tone, delivery, there's a way you talk to people. And I understand when you are this person who understands how to talk to people, who understands when to say certain things, who take the time to listen and then act. You feel frustrated by how clumsy, inadequate, inappropriate people are, and you go, it's so exhausting trying to talk to them when not many people are trying to listen. They just want to listen to the sound of their own. And most of the time, when you're talking to people, it's like you're just making some unpaid therapy session and it's taxing for you. So you need like 2, 3 weeks breaks in order to recover from most of your relationships. And I know you can think about how you would like to explain to these people what I'm saying right now, but they would go, oh, it's not true before you can finish. Making exactly your point about them being serial interrupters, incapable of listening to somebody. They just want a human form to listen to them. And since you serve that purpose so well, anytime you are in the room, anytime they call you, you're supposed to be available and you're supposed to answer. And it's just 2 hours of the person dumping their traumas on you and everything on you. And that's it. I hope that you find people in your life that you can talk to, that you can vent to, that can do for you what you're doing for everybody else as well. Because your daily life will become too overwhelming and too taxing, and you might never even try perhaps a romantic relationship because you think, I'm already doing all this for all my other relationships. I don't want a partner, and I'm going to have to do that for somebody 24/7, someone who's not even going to try to listen to me. You might rob yourself of the opportunity of potentially having someone who would have been perfectly willing to listen to you and give you that attentive ear, that listening ear that you're so generously giving to everybody else, but because you're not used to getting that, you block some blessings, you block some people that could love you and listen to you because your life is just so emotionally overwhelming that you close yourself off and you need days off of interacting with people. Some of these relationships you're gonna have to end because you will end up resenting the person or yourself for living a life where you don't have the emotional support that you're so generously giving. And also ask yourself, why are you always in this position? Why don't you really have people that are listening to you? Is it because you're scared of opening up? Is it because it's just, I'm asking you the question, but I had an experience myself where I opened to someone, I was vulnerable, and the next day I woke up and I felt so bad. I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. It's like I had a vulnerability hangover. So I know for a fact that myself, the reason why I like to be in that position where I listen to people's problems all the time is because although on the long run it becomes taxing to listen, but it's also less demanding for me to talk about myself, and there are certain things people won't know about me, so certain informations they won't be able to use against me. So is it a way for you to protect yourself? Is it because you think you're uninterested? Figure out what it is and work on it, because your life cannot just happen like this, especially if, as I said, you're so exhausted from your work and your relationships that you barely have time to do anything for yourself. You need a hobby, you need something that motivates you to wake up in the morning. You need an outlet. You need somewhere to let it all out. Maybe it's art, maybe you write, maybe you sing, maybe you express yourself with dancing, whatever it is, find something, an outlet. Otherwise, you might just get tired of life. And this is a very dicey territory to find yourself. And also start verbalizing to people around you that you need time off. Maybe you feel like this week you don't really want to talk. Say that. And if people have a problem with it, and sometimes people don't even ask you why, they just get mad. Therapists that do that for a living, they take vacations, they take breaks, they go home, and maybe they also have someone who can listen to them. Who are you to be volunteering your mental energy like that with no rest? Stop this, okay? And next time you're adding someone to your life, make sure it's an actual friend, it's someone who can also listen to you. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just gonna end it here and come back if I have more to say. Bye.